Welcome back to the engineering cage match. Tonight is LiveKit versus Pipecat, and this one gets emotional because both camps claim they are the fastest path to production voice AI. We are not doing fan fiction. We are doing receipts, architecture, and hard trade-offs.
If you need real-time media that does not wobble when users pile in, you do not start with philosophy. You start with infrastructure that was built for real-time first. That is where LiveKit wins the opening bell.
Infrastructure is useless if your conversation logic is rigid. Pipecat gives you composable, transparent pipelines, and it lets you swap transports and AI services without rewriting your whole product every quarter. Ground rules: no made-up latency numbers, no fantasy benchmarks. We stick to what official docs and licenses clearly state. LiveKit core server is Apache 2.0. Pipecat is BSD 2 clause. Both are open source. The real argument is implementation shape and operational gravity. Round 1, architecture. What are you actually buying into when you choose one of these stacks?
LiveKit is not only an agent framework. It is an open-source WebRTC SFU plus a full real-time ecosystem, SDKs across platforms, and telephony plus media ingress and egress lanes. That means the transport and the agent runtime can be designed as one coherent system instead of stitched together under deadline panic.
That coherence can become coupling. Pipecat starts from orchestration clarity. Pipeline blocks are explicit, transport is modular, and your bot logic can run on daily LiveKit transport, WebSocket, telephony serializers, or local setups. You keep the conversation brain portable while transport decisions evolve.
Portable is cute until your reconnect behavior, packet loss handling, and media quality debugging become your full-time job. LiveKit gives those primitives as first-class concerns, not accidental side quests.
And yet teams outgrow fixed assumptions. Pipecat lets you compose and inspect your chain in plain Python, insert custom processors, and test behavior slice by slice. You can reason about the bot, not just trust a black box. Translation for founders. LiveKit's strength is end-to-end real-time depth. Pipecat's strength is explicit pipeline control and transport choice. If your team is tiny and needs fewer moving parts, integration helps. If your team is research-heavy and constantly reshaping flows, modularity helps. Round 2, latency and interruption behavior. This is where users instantly judge your product.
LiveKit docs emphasize turn detection and adaptive interruption handling. They also expose pipeline nodes and hooks so you can tune behavior around speech flow. In plain terms, the stack is focused on real conversational timing, not only message passing.
Pipecat gives fine-grained turn strategy composition. Start strategies, stop strategies, wake phrases, min words, VAD-driven starts, smart turn stop analyzers. Old interruption strategies were deprecated in favor of cleaner user turn strategies, and that move reflects architectural maturity, not weakness.
Let me be blunt, if every release demands custom glue for interruption timing, your team slows down. LiveKit bakes in practical real-time ergonomics so engineering can focus on business logic.
And I will be blunt back. Hidden defaults are expensive when your UX gets nuanced. Pipecat gives explicit knobs so your team can encode exact behavior, especially in edge cases where generic defaults fail your audience. Heat check. Both are saying the same truth from different angles. Integrated defaults accelerate teams that want guardrails. Explicit strategy composition empowers teams that need surgical conversation control. Quick fact check. Pipecat documentation explicitly marks legacy interruption strategies as deprecated and points to user turn strategies. That is an important migration detail for teams upgrading existing bots. Always design against the current turn APIs, not old snippets from random posts. Round 3, deployment and operations. Where do teams bleed money and sleep?
LiveKit gives a clear path from local to managed cloud while staying anchored in an open-source server model. For teams that need speed, this integrated deployment story reduces accidental complexity and shrinks time to a stable launch.
Pipecat gives portability in logic and service providers, but you must make sharper deployment decisions. That is not a bug. It is the cost of owning architecture choices. Advanced teams often prefer this because it limits platform lock inertia over time.
Founders do not get medals for self-hosting pain. If your competitive edge is product experience, not infrastructure heroics, choosing the stack with fewer production unknowns is rational, not lazy.
Agreed, but dependency gravity is real. If your roadmap requires rapid provider shifts, custom turn pipelines, and unusual transport mixes, owning the orchestration layer can save months of replatforming later.
This is the cleanest framing so far. LiveKit optimizes for integrated operational velocity. Pipecat optimizes for orchestration sovereignty. One minimizes immediate friction. The other maximizes future maneuverability. Round 4, ecosystem and extensibility. This is where teams build moats.
LiveKit docs show broad model plugin coverage and platform SDK support. If your product spans web, mobile, and telephony with one real-time backbone, that consistency is a force multiplier for product and QA velocity.
Pipecat's service matrix is also broad, and its pipeline model makes composition explicit. You can bring specialized processors, custom serializers, and context strategies into one readable chain. It is especially strong for teams experimenting with multimodal behavior quickly.
I am saying this clearly. Many teams claim they want flexibility, but they really need shipped product and reliable calls next month. In that reality, integrated real-time infrastructure is an unfair advantage.
And I am saying this clearly. Many teams claim they need speed, then spend quarters trapped by early defaults. If your differentiation is in conversation behavior, owning the pipeline architecture is the actual unfair advantage.
Both arguments are sharp. The winner depends less on brand and more on where your bottleneck lives today. Scenario Test 1. 2 founders, 1 product engineer, and 6 weeks runway to launch a voice concierge MVP. They need stable calls, simple moderation, and enough metrics to know if users return.
For this profile, I choose LiveKit first. You get a mature real-time communication base, broad client SDK paths, and an integrated direction for agent deployment. The team can spend scarce attention on user journeys instead of rebuilding media reliability primitives under fire.
I concede this is a valid LiveKit leaning case, but only if the team keeps its domain logic separated. If they tie business rules directly to platform assumptions, future iteration cost explodes. Fast launch is good. Blind coupling is not.
Scenario Test 2. Larger platform team, multiple enterprise tenants, strict workflow customizations, and frequent provider swaps due to procurement rules. They need transport and turn behavior to remain adaptable without rewriting everything.
This is where Pipecat shines. Pipeline composition is explicit, services are pluggable, and transport can be changed with less upheaval to core conversation logic. You can encode wake phrase gates, stop strategies, and custom processors in a way that stays inspectable over years.
Fair, but even here, teams should be realistic about operational burden. Flexibility that nobody can maintain becomes fragility. If they choose Pipecat, they need senior ownership of architecture and strong testing discipline around turn quality and regression risk.
Cross-examination checklist before you commit. 1. Where does your team lose more time right now? Media reliability or behavior complexity? 2. How often will you swap model or transport providers? 3. Do you have engineers who can own turn management internals? 4. Can you enforce test coverage for interruptions and conversational edge cases? Honest answers usually pick the stack for you. Verdict matrix in 60 seconds. Pick LiveKit first when your highest risk is real-time media reliability, multi-platform delivery, and fast operational path to production. Pick Pipecat first when your highest risk is conversation logic complexity, provider churn, and the need for explicit orchestration control. In both cases, enforce observability, turn quality testing, and clear migration playbooks from day one. Final risk note: open source license alone does not remove lock-in risk. Lock-in is mostly in data shape, internal abstractions, deployment assumptions, and team skill concentration. Architect your app with a clean domain layer and measurable interfaces, and both stacks stay viable longer.
If you want the next episode to include a live architecture teardown of a production call stack, drop the word LiveKit in comments.
If you want us to build a transparent pipeline with explicit turn strategies and transport swaps on camera, drop the word Pipecat.
If you want both, comment both, and we will run the same product scenario on each stack with identical requirements, then score build speed, clarity, and operational confidence. See you in the next one.